The Trinity River, slowly meandering a 710-mile journey across the state, pours into the nearby Gulf of Mexico, providing habitat for thousands of fish, plants, and animals, even humans, for millennia. Many American Indian tribes camped along the shores of the river, where they harvested food and navigated it with boats, so much so that French explorer La Salle originally named it the River of Canoes. Settlers from Europe followed the ways of the Indians and used the river for transportation, especially for the shipping of agricultural goods. Over time, boats grew in size, agriculture increased, and entrepreneurs began to dream of transforming the serpentine banks and sandbars into an efficient conduit for commerce, connecting the Gulf of Mexico to the bustling city of Dallas. Beginning in the 1840s and continuing for the next 120 years, the federal government removed sandbars and snags, widened and deepened the river places, and installed navigation locks and dams. This accelerated transit from the coast to Dallas from 1 year to only 2 months. But needs continued to grow. To secure a steady depth of water for dependable year-round navigation, the concept morphed by the 1960s into a barge canal with flood control and water conservation measures designed by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. The price tag likewise grew from $32,000 in the 1840s to $1 billion in the 1960s. The plan was approved and set in action. 23,000 acres of land, including the townsite of Wallisville, were acquired by eminent domain to create a lock, dam, and reservoir to terminate the canalized river. A section between Wallisville and Liberty was partially completed, but political, logistical, environmental, and financial troubles grounded the project. Voters refused to help finance it through a sales tax, and environmentalists forecast ecological disaster and loss of Bay Area fisheries. Yet rapid urbanization and flourishing agriculture in the region forced the need to protect the river as a drinking water and irrigation source. The engineers repurposed their designs, constructing a dam and lock system that would separate fresh water of the river from salt water of the Gulf of Mexico. This would also conserve wildlife habitats upstream. Sensors located along the barrier dam now test the salinity of the river. They transmit data hourly to satellites, which graph it on a website monitored by hydrologists 24/7. When the sensors detect saltwater inside the dam, a hydrologist determines how many of the 4 steel tainter gates to lower or close entirely. These gates seal the river to prevent salt water from moving upstream. This occurs during droughts, floods, hurricanes, and other weather conditions. Most of the time, however, the gates remain open. The other half of the water control system is a navigational lock consisting of 2 pairs of wooden and steel gates. The lock allows boats to travel upstream as far as Liberty. When the dam gates close, the lock gates close too, sealing the river from the salty Gulf. Now called the Wallisville Lake Project, its 23,000 acres of watery public land provide a protected coastal habitat for wildlife and recreation for visitors and residents. Here, bottomland forests, grasslands, streams, marshes, swamps, and pools shelter waterbird rookeries, provide breeding ground for fish, and supply essential habitats for many other aquatic birds and animals. The site also offers miles of hiking trails, boardwalks, birding opportunities, wildlife watching, fishing, boating, picnicking, and a visitor center filled with exhibits. When gazing at the serene beauty of this verdant wildlife sanctuary, it's hard to imagine what a shipping channel would have looked like here: an impounded lake, an industrial landscape, a busy port. Instead, nature and the beautiful river reign supreme.